Non-com, so he'll be right back. He knows. He was here. For July 12th. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Counsel Field?
Present.
Present. Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Counsel Lozey? Absent. Counsel Net? Absent. Counsel Allensug?
Present.
Present. Okay, the first order is livery business, a new one. Luxury car service, Jose Luis Diaz Santana.
Thank you. What
Mr.
is-
Santana also is a livery operator of his new
We
business.
can take both then at the
Okay.
same time. What is the wish of our committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a
Second.
motion to approve and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. That motion passes. Both motions pass, sorry. Those licenses will be ready in the clerk's office Thursday morning after 8:30.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck, sir.
Okay, we have Boston Drives, 844 Summer Street. Saeed Shah, 844 Summer Street, as the operator of the business as well.
And the operator, so we'll take both together. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
I second.
We second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry. Those licenses will be ready in the clerk's office on Thursday morning after 8:30. Thank you and good luck.
And the rest are all renewals.
We'll take them as a whole if so moved. What is the wish of our committee?
Motion to approve.
I
We have a
second.
motion to approve. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Those motions carry, all renewed. Do we have any other new business? We have a couple of, nope, that's it. Diaz, nope, those are all the same.
Do we have canning or no?
We have no canning.
No.
I don't see any. I don't see any other business, correct?
Okay.
Nope, what is the wish of the committee?
Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn, seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
I don't want to use
Yes,
my
sir. Thanks, bud.
I'll sit in.
Are you authorized?
Unless you authorize.
He doesn't have a permission slip. You're busy all night, huh?
Show you. Once we start.
Then Brian.
What are you guys doing? No. We're waiting for you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Public Property and Parks Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Present.
Present Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Present Counsel Calucci?
Here.
Present Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counsel Field?
Present.
Present.
Okay, one item on the agenda regarding Lot 1 adjacent to 66 Springvale Ave. Ordered that the city solicitor's office shall prepare a deed from the city of Lynn to Alexander Fisty of 66 Springvale Avenue for the conveyance of Lot 1, Springvale Avenue, for a purchase price of $3,900, with the restriction that said land be used for landscaping and parking only, with no buildings, sheds, swimming pools, or accessory structures to be located thereon. The The deed shall retain an easement to the benefit of the city of Lynn to make repairs on the Pine Grove Cemetery stone wall, which borders the property. Further ordered that His Honor the Mayor is hereby authorized to execute said deed and all necessary documents to effectuate the transfer of this real property. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Okay, any other business?
Yeah.
Counsel Field.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I make a motion to hang the 20 winners of this year's second grade poster contest in the foyer of City Hall to display their hard work and efforts.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to hang the posters in the second grade classrooms in the foyer at City Hall. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Any other business?
Can we get the kids up here?
We will be.
They're in the audience.
They will when.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That's it. That's a our Litter Committee meeting for July 12th. Roll call, please.
Counsel Field?
Present.
Present. Counsel Chakutis? Present. Mr. Donovan? Ms. Nerick? Present. Mr. Stillion? Absent. Attorney Lamanna? Present. And Mr. Pena? Present.
What do you need?
I have it right here. Yeah, the mayor. Yep. Mayor Nicholson. I can honestly say that for myself and Councilor Chakutis, who are co-chairs of our Litter Committee, this is probably one of our most joyous events each year, even though this is only our second. We've been bounced out a couple of times with the COVID pandemic. But we're certainly honored to welcome our second grade poster contest winners here in the city of Lynn. I'm honored to be joined again with my colleague, co-chair of the Litter Committee, Councilor Chakutis, Mayor Nicholson, members of the council, Councilor Allenson, Councilor LaPierre, Councilor Hogan, Councilor Starbird, Councilor Colucci, our council president, Jay Walsh, our school committee members, Mr. Pena, Mr. Dugan, and Ms. Magnolia, certainly, and deputy superintendents, Kimberly Powers and Deborah Giro. Thank you all for being here today. There are some other people I would like to acknowledge that also helped participate back in April of this year with our poster contest. Ms. Nerick is joined here, our Associate DPW Commissioner. I thank you for all the work that you do to put in to make this event successful. Councilor Vice President Barton is here also. Allison Perry from Community Development. If she's here, I just want to acknowledge her. She's the one that gets us started with our posters for the children to participate. And what this is it's a poster contest all throughout the city. And each second grader in the 18 participating public schools and the 2 private schools are asked to participate in a poster contest encouraging keeping our city clean. It's an educational component that our Litter Committee sees important as a key component. It's been supported extremely well by our superintendent, who could not be here, Dr. Tutwiler, who is at a conference currently, but he extends his best wishes. I also want to acknowledge Beth McCaldy from Lynn Tech, who does the actual printing of the posters. She got them to us in record time this year, so that's why we wanted to make sure that we got these posters out in display in businesses and honor all the second graders who were chosen as the winners from their school. And there's one winner tonight that we'll be announcing, citywide winner, that their poster that they created is actually going to be displayed on a billboard on Boston Street, just outside 35 Boston Street, right at the intersection of North Bend Street and Boston Street within the next couple of weeks, correct, Ms. Nerick? July 25th it'll start, and it'll be there for 30 days? Excellent. Again, Dr. Tutwiler, the Deputy Superintendents, Mayor Nicholson, Mary Jules, the Secretary of the School Committee, is also an important part. Our own confidential secretary, Terry Young, and Lisa Herrera for all their help. I mentioned our school committee, the entire school committee, the entire council, Lynn Community Television, the Daily Item, the Lynn Journal, Waste Management, our sponsor, and certainly our principals and second grade teachers who all welcomed us with open arms and allowed us to get into the schools. So without further ado, I would like to invite our winners to come forward to receive an acknowledgement from the City Council and from the Mayor. I'll invite the Mayor to speak in just a moment. And each of you are going to receive 10 copies of your posters to either share with family members or maybe even a business in the area of where you live that you want to see your poster displayed, and ask them if they'll hang it at their business to help our city, reminding the residents and the visitors to our city that it's important to keep our city clean. And we appreciate all that you have done and continue to do each day. Mayor?
Thank you, Councilor Field. Councilor Field did a wonderful job thanking the large team of people that is required for a successful effort like this. So I just want to thank Councilor Field for your tremendous work and leadership on this, as well as Councilor Chakoudas, who have been spearheading this effort for many years. Thank you both for your leadership on this. This is a top priority for the city, for our streets, for our parks to be clean. We care about it deeply, and we are so grateful that a generation of second graders have stepped up this year to show us the way, and it's going to help get the message out with the posters, and we're also counting on those second graders to bring that message back with their families. It complements all that we're doing on this issue to try to get the message out that our streets need to be clean, that the city deserves clean streets, clean sidewalks, clean parks. And one of the reasons why we deserve it is because we care so deeply about our kids and having them be able to grow up in clean spaces that reflect the care and love we all have for this city. So thank you so much, everyone, for this project, and thank you especially to our winners for your beautiful artwork.
And I do have them in order, yeah. What we'll do is we'll announce each winner in alphabetical order according to school. And when that winner does come forward, we'll receive a citation from the mayor, from Councilor Chakoudas, and then I'll ask that each second grader stand just in front of the counter here, our table, our desk here, in front of the chair, and we'll all get together and take a photo with those that participated, the school committee, the city council, and deputy superintendents. Parents, you'll be invited to take pictures after we present all the citations and awards. Thank you. Also, just a quick note that I know it is summer, so there are some students that did RSVP that they are away. We do apologize, but we certainly, if their principal's here to accept the award on their behalf, we welcome the principal to come ahead. If not, we'll make sure that those students receive their acknowledgement at a later time. From Aboyne School, Braden Dupuis. From the Brickett School, Jade Morales. Jade here. From the Callahan School, Amelia Mejia. From the Connery School, Daisy Chavez. From the Druid School, Amali Pomasing. From Fallon School, Jason Tegui Lopez.
He's checking. It's there.
From the Ford School, Alyssa Jasmine Pojoy Guzman. From the Harrington School, Diary Shilel Ramirez.
He's coming. Yep.
From the Hood School, Yanalise Maldonado de Leon.
A little bit.
From the Ingalls School, Stanley Petit Frere.
Yes. I love it. Great.
From Lincoln Thompson School, Matthew Flores Tavares. From the Linwood School, Katerini Kalplachnikov Grigoris. From Sewell Anderson, Caitlin Lopez Lopez. From the Shoemaker School, Will Cahill.
Yes. All right.
From the Sisson School, Jada Sky Rosario Batista. From the Tracy School, Luz Marilyn Vargas Perez. From the Washington School, Daniela Chavez Mendez.
Almost there.
From the Sacred Heart School, Allie Keogh. From the St. Pius V School, Hamira Akionde. And parents and guests, I think you can tell by the smiles today that the smiles were even better when Councilor Chakutis and I were at each school picking up each winner, and those winners were announced. That was a special day for Councilor Chakutis and myself. I just want to acknowledge Councilor Net, who wasn't here at the beginning of when we began, and school committee woman Lorraine Gately that also joined us. And certainly, last but not least, our city-wide winner from the Cobbett Elementary School, Kelly De Leon. So again, I just want to thank our parents certainly for letting your children be our artists to get that message out. And a special thank you to all 20 winners and everyone that participated in our 2020 Earth Day Keep Lynn Clean poster contest. I thank you again. Parents, you are welcome to come ahead. Colleagues from the council, school committee, deputy superintendents, I'll invite you to come ahead to join our photo. Parents, you can come right ahead, and we have probably another 10 or so minutes, 15 minutes to take pictures. Thank you again. I'm so proud of all of you.
Actually, might need you to move for 2 seconds if you could.
Yeah.
Sunday and today.
Will you sign?
And just a quick acknowledgement to State Rep Dan Cahill, who's a proud dad today. Coco, you got to get in the picture.
Coco, stop it.
I know. Always kills every photo.
Coco.
The girl in the yellow right there, she's totally hidden.
Look forward. You guys want to be in the item in the journal, right?
There we go. That's good.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Item in journal. Okay. Yeah. Journal. Right here. Yellow shirt. Yep. Parents. 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 Parents.
Congratulations. Good job, you lady. We do that.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ways and Means Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, could you please roll call?
Counsel Net?
Present.
Present Counsel Staben?
Present.
Present Counsel Barton?
Present.
Present Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counsel Walsh?
Present.
I would like to invite the Mayor Jared Nicholson, to come to the podium and give us presentation. Barbara, please.
Good evening, Chairman Net. Good evening, councilors. Thank you all so much for having me. This is an exciting moment for the city. I know it's an exciting moment for a lot of us that have been working on this for several months under my administration, and for many months before that, since the beginning of the ARPA process. Obviously, we all recognize that this is really a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make lasting investments in the city of Lynn, address the impact of the pandemic that hit the city hard and that we're still struggling with and working to address. So we're really excited to be able to put forward a very significant step towards our goal of making the most of all this opportunity. And it has been really an honor to be doing that from the mayor's role on behalf of the city and in collaboration with the council. And as you all have seen and participated in, there's been a lot of thought and effort put into a process to try to get as much input as possible from the community. And so I'd like to thank everyone from my team that's been involved in that, particularly Daniel Smith and John Michael Fana from my office, as well as Faustina Cuevas and John Tebow. Really my entire team, our consultant CSS, who's here tonight, who you'll hear from in more depth about what we are putting forward. I'd also like to specifically thank Councilor Brian Field for his work as the ARPA liaison for the council. Councilor Field has put in countless hours and has been just such an incredible thought partner for my entire team, particularly for me, to be able to give good feedback, ask tough questions, and really push us to make the most of this and help us identify areas we were missing in just a really thoughtful and helpful way. And I'm incredibly grateful for all his work on this. Chairman Net, in your role as the Ways and Means Chair, and Council President Walsh have also been particularly helpful in thinking everything through. And really all of you. I know I've talked to all of you about the opportunity here. A lot of you hosted meetings in your ward with our office. A lot of you helped us get out into the community to get ideas and suggestions and put forward suggestions of your own. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you for that work. As with anything, there's always room for improvement. One of the I think advantages for the way that we have set this up is that we are going to be able to take what we've learned in this first round and bring that into the second round. And we do have about another 20 million or so that would be that sort of left in the ARPA funding that we will be able to run the process for in the round two and take the lessons that we've learned in doing this process into the fall. So a couple of the overarching goals that we've had for our administration that we've discussed extensively with all of you, and I think a lot of you share as well, is recognizing that these are one-time funds and that one-time funds are best matched with one-time expenses in order to really make the most of the investments and ensure that they're going to deliver lasting success. And so that has been a priority that we have really emphasized throughout this process to find one-time projects as opposed to ongoing operating funds, as well as the timeline. We feel really, frankly, a lot of pressure to make sure that these projects happen in the required time frame. So that means allocated by 2024, spent by 2026. I think, frankly, there's even greater pressure beyond that, given what's happening in Washington and the potential for that dynamic to change down there after the fall, and wanting to make sure that we act to be able to spend the money that we have, the option to spend and the ability to spend. And so we've also been really thoughtful about prioritizing the timeline and the likelihood that we'll be able to see these projects implemented in the time that's required before we lose the funding. So with those goals in mind, we've made a lot of these investments guided by the input that we got from the community over the course of this fall. So you'll see in the proposal that you have before you, one of those priorities has been the city's parks, and we think that this is just a great opportunity to take advantage of projects that can happen quickly in the time that we want them, the projects that are really going to be one-time funding and that meet a really fundamental need, a need that we all share as a community for a place to go to meet our friends, to bring our families, to improve our physical health, to improve our mental health, to make these lasting investments that make the parks more usable for everyone, from an access perspective, for people who are disabled or people who live in different parts of the city. And once we made that commitment, we really wanted to take a holistic perspective to make sure that there wasn't one part of the city that was going to benefit from that at the expense of others, but that we're really trying to make this a citywide priority. So you see that in what's before you. Another theme that has emerged in the feedback that we've gotten from the community is the need for affordable housing. And I've been before this body several times already talking to you about how this is a priority for us, it's a priority for the city, the cost of housing, and identifying those projects that fit into our parameters of wanting to be able to expend funds of a one-time nature that we think we're confident are going to be doable and achievable within the time that we have. And so we've made a really significant investment in addressing the need for affordable housing. And that complements other work that we're doing. As I mentioned before, I've been here before talking about the work we're doing to implement the Housing Lynn Plan, work that we've been doing with Vice President Barton and the Housing Lynn Implementation Working Group, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund that you all approved at the last meeting with the investments that have already started to come in there. It complements the investments that the Lynn Housing Authority and neighborhood developers are making through their federal funding as well. And so I think it's important that we think about that priority in terms of what we're doing across the city. So through this process, through Lynn Housing, through the public land disposition processes that a lot of you are working on as well. And I think it's noteworthy that in this funding process, we funded the projects that the Lynn Housing Authority set forward, and also funding the projects that the only community development corporation to participate put forward as well to develop affordable housing. Another significant area of investment that we've all talked about before that's no surprise that you already took action on is the investment in our city's roads and wanting to make the city more navigable for cars, for pedestrians, and really address some long deferred maintenance of the city's streets. And there are, as we talked about last time, there's some limitations about the exact dollar amounts that can be put into that, but that's been a priority for us as well. And then finally, a priority I want to highlight, and our team will walk through the specific projects by project, so I'm just hitting on the highlights, but is the issue that we talked about earlier this evening. That was an exciting moment to be able to recognize the help that we have gotten from our second graders in the city. And I think tonight, through this ARPA investment, we're following up on that with an investment in trying to tackle the litter issue and the bins that we're going to be purchasing to put in the parks and trying to find the right one-time expenses that would address this issue that are the right fit for ARPA funds that'll complement the other initiatives that we have working to address the litter problem. So I will ask if it's okay with Chairman Nett, CSS, to walk us through in more detail where we are, how we got there, and we will then turn it over to my team to list the specific
Yes,
projects.
please, yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Mr.
so
Mayor.
much.
Thank you.
Chairman Nett.
Well, while he's loading that up, I'll just say a few words. So thank you very much for having us. For those of you that don't remember, I'm Jen Thompson with CSS. I'm joined by Nicole Figueredo. It's nice to be here without my mask on. I think the last time I presented here, I had a mask on and was trying to breathe and talk at the same time. So, I did stand here, I think 6 or 7 months ago when we first started talking about ARPA, and the city has done a tremendous job with your outreach and being out in the community and trying to solicit the feedback that, the mayor and the city council felt was really important. I know for us, we've spent a lot of time here the last 6 or 7 months in your wards, in your neighborhoods, with your businesses, with your community members, and, we've fallen in love with your city. So this is a very exciting night for us because we kind of get to see some of it come to fruition. I also want to extend some thanks to the mayor's office and his staff. They've been remarkable to work with, incredibly collaborative, transparent, really making sure that we engaged everyone in the community. I know that was a priority of Councilor Fields as well and the city council. So thank you to all of you. Also just want to thank Mike Bertino in the CFO's office, who's doing an excellent job making sure the money is handled correctly. And Don Castle, who's your opera compliance manager, who does a lot of work up front behind the scenes, making sure that all these projects are eligible and that you're complying with all the federal statutes. So, like I said, it's been a great experience for us. We love Lynn. We love all of you, so we're very happy to be here. Can we control it now? So just a quick recap. When we were back here, I think in January, February, the city council had already voted some projects right out of the gate. You knew that these were important and that they had to be dedicated immediately just based on the need and the impacts of the pandemic. So you dedicated $13.5 million to improving air quality in your municipal buildings and in your schools through the HVAC systems improvements. You also appropriated $500,000 for the purchase of COVID rapid antigen kits, another $3 million to your EDIC for relief to small businesses that were impacted by the pandemic. Another $800,000 was allocated for city translators, and that leaves the $58 million, some of which we'll talk about tonight.
So I'm just going to recap the ARPA selection process. Through feedback from the city or from your community members, they highlighted specific needs or specific areas in which they wanted to see investment, including addressing parks and green space, cost of housing, improvements to roadways, sidewalks, and litter. The city's recommendation are in line with those priorities that the community highlighted, and we took into account also the ARPA scoring matrix that allowed us to make sure that we were checking all those boxes. And that they would fall within that ARPA timeline, as well as the project sustainability, the reality of the one-time funding source. So our outreach activities included targeting 509 community organization contacts, over 2,400 email communications. I want to say that 200 phone calls is low. I think there's a typo in there. I know that I was on the phone quite a bit with quite a few community members. We had 14 community forums. We received in the first batch of surveys 1,650 survey responses, identifying those areas in which for improvement. We had 3 projects submit a workshop events, both morning and afternoon sessions, and tried to do them on the weekend so it was easier for people to come. We also hosted 24 individual ARPA project assistance sessions with different organizations, community members, helping them, walking through the steps to submit their projects. We also sent out the ARPA selection survey postcards to over 35,000 community members, to their actual residents. And we had 223 of those surveys returned. Next slide, please. So the Phase 1 project submittal timeline and process started back in April. I think I was here the night that it actually kicked off. It was April 26th, and was giving you the update on the project surveys, the surveys that we had sent out, the community surveys. We then hosted the project workshops in May, with the closure of the project submittals May 31st. We launched the project selection surveys in mid-June. We actually extended the project selection surveys out until after July, I think it was July 6th, we closed those surveys out to allow as much feedback as we could possibly get. And we're here tonight, right now, presenting to you our findings. We're hoping that the projects will be implemented in late summer, early fall, quickly followed by the next phase, Phase 2 of project submittal requests. Next slide, please. So it's just in another recap of the total Phase 1 ARPA investment. To date, the city has invested approximately $17.8 million in ARPA funds to address the immediate needs of the COVID-19 pandemic. Through input of the community we're presenting here tonight the $35.1 million package for the Phase 1 funding, which leaves approximately $22.9 million for future investment. Next slide, please.
I won't spend a lot of time on this slide because the mayor kind of summed it up in the goals, I think, that he went through. But, there were some goals that we were given right at the beginning of this project, and that was the process needed to be community-driven. It had to be an equitable and transparent process. The administrative oversight and costs of the ARPA had to be contained within the ARPA and not cause further costs to the city. They wanted you wanted a focused impact and a priority on the projects, especially with those that were impacted most by COVID-19. And again, we wanted to maximize and leverage your funding to make sure that you were using it in a way that you could leverage other state and federal dollars. And I think next we're going to hand it off to Danye and John Michael to go through the projects.
Daniel Smith, Policy Director in the Mayor's Office. So I'm going to walk through each of these projects in a pretty quick fashion. So in this largest category of spending, there will be $16.3 million recommended for major renovations to parks throughout the city. Barry Park, Bowser Complex, Kiley Park, Keeney Park, Lynn Woods, Gallagher, and McManus. And we have a list of high-level improvements that we are planning on recommending, and we are awaiting more detailed estimates from our landscape architect, House Doctor. There is $1.5 million for the implementation of the Lynn Harbor Park, and this includes components such as parking and public accessibility to the area. There's about $298,000 in the purchasing of 60 big belly trash cans that we're hoping to distribute throughout the city. It's $100,000 for a parks conditions assessment of every park throughout the city, and $22,500 in waterfront recreation equipment purchasing for Lynn Kayak and Sail. Next slide, please. So the next category of funding we have here is water and roadway improvements. This is really infrastructure more broadly. So there's $2.6 million in water system improvements throughout Broadway Street and parts of Linfield Street to improve water access and fire flows to the area. There's $1.5 million for capital improvements to streets and sidewalks, and $1.3 million in the purchase of heavy vehicles for snow removal, park, and roadway maintenance. And just a quick note on the heavy equipment item. The Ways and Committee committee actually voted on this the last time around. There were about 4 items that were included in the municipal budget that the previous meeting was voted on. Next slide, please. So the next category of funding we have is housing and affordable housing in particular. So there's $2 million to rehabilitate the Hennessy House, which would convert the existing property into 51 studios for extremely low-income residents. There's $1.5 million in rental assistance to be administered by LHAND. There's $900,000 for the Catalyst Housing Project, and this project will create 24 studio apartments for extremely low-income young adults, ages 18 to 24. There's $400,000 for improvements to the Wall Plaza public housing site. This includes renovations to the kitchens and the bathrooms, as well as asbestos remediation. There's $100,000 for a site planning feasibility study to look at the existing Essex and Tilton public housing site and try to come up with a plan to improve the units and see if it could accommodate about double the amount of units on the existing site. And there's $60,000 recommended for an inclusionary zoning financial feasibility study in partnership with the Mayor's Office, Planning Department, and LHAND. Next slide. And there's early childhood education. So we are recommending $3 million for capital improvements for Leo to redevelop their existing facility on Broad Street into a modern, full-scale preschool education center for low-income children. And with that, I'd like to invite my colleague, John Fana, up to review the remainder of the projects. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jean-Michael Fana, Outreach Director, Mayor's Office. Thank you, Chairman, Council. So what we're looking at next is our public safety allotment, $1,260,000 for 2 pumpers. These are fundamental tools that allow the firefighters to do the basic job of fighting fires. With our growing city, these are important investments. I would group together both the police range target system and the Vera training system. Both of these systems are intended to enhance our police training capabilities. We have a young force, and we identified a good opportunity to train those officers in the most modern techniques. $10,000 for a portable firefighting manual hose reel. This is a relatively cheap investment that gives us a lot of range with our firefighting capabilities, especially in regards to our Lynn woods. We love the woods. We want to protect them. This gives the firefighters the ability to reach deep into the woods and conduct their job there. And lastly, $10,000 for police translation services. As we all know, we have a widely diverse city, and many languages are spoken, and this is a common sense upgrade that will allow our officers to interact with anybody they meet in the city, regardless of language. Next slide, please. These are some investments in direct city business capabilities. $1,200,000 directly to the Grand Army of the Republic Hall Museum. That is a historic treasure, of course, that we have here in the city. And it does need some love and investment, and we thought it was appropriate to direct some funds that way. The City of Lynn website redesign. This is for the redesign of the City of Lynn's website. We're looking forward to making some upgrades there and some renovations and make it better and more accessible for the residents of the city. Assessing a CAM upgrade. This is a software program used by the assessing department. Very much a nuts and bolts upgrade to some of what the city does here with our assessing. And then $15,000 towards an outreach festival. This is something we're planning for the for the end of August to get City Hall into the community and outside and into the spaces where our residents are and increase our services and availability to them. Next slide. Here we have some important public health investments. $115,000 to the Health Division accreditation. This is a process that, at the end of the process, our health department would be accredited at a national level, kind of showing both the city and the state and the country that our health department operates at a high standard and the best standard for our citizens. $75,000 for a van for the senior center. This council has done a lot of work around that senior center, and we want to make sure that our residents have the ability to get to the senior center and to also participate in other activities that might be going around there in that facility. So we thought that was a prudent investment to make. A health equipment van. This van is a temperature-controlled vehicle, which is important, as we learned during this pandemic, for both transporting vaccines and will also give our health department the ability to have this temperature control mobility in the future if we ever need it. And lastly, $3,000 for a temperature control case. This again just continues to extend our health department's reach and ability to conduct temperature control activities. Next slide, please. Investments into economic development, $100,000 going to the Beyond Walls mural initiatives. We know they've been conducting transformative work across the downtown for several years, and we wanted to continue to support that work. Active transportation and transit support. This is primarily around transit stations. You can imagine bus stops being the classic transportation station, and some attention given to those locations around the city. $20,000 to downtown wayfinding. This is to encourage visitor use and navigation of the downtown. We have a very walkable downtown, and this is to kind of highlight that aspect of our city. And then $16,000 to a Welcome to Lynn planting initiative. Across the city, we have these various locations where the city does engage in planting, and this is to make sure we're putting our best foot forward as we beautify the city. Next slide, please. Nonprofit, we have $100,000 going to Audacity on the Grow. This is a youth initiative to distribute hydroponically grown produce, both addressing sort of youth engagement as well as food need in the city, so kind of able to tackle multiple issues there. $10,000 to revenue replacement for arts after hours. As many artists will tell you, it's not a high-paying gig to be an artist. They struggled in particular during the pandemic, and we thought it was appropriate to try to help them out so they can continue their important cultural work in the downtown. As well as investment in workforce development. This $20,000 is going to help match funds we received as a city, we applied for and received as a city to conduct a workforce development plan. So this is a long-term strategic investment for the city. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councillor, can I get a motion to suspend the rules for Councillor Field to come to speak? What's the wish?
Suspend the rules.
Second.
All in favor? Councillor Field, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Chairman Nett and colleagues on the council. I'm excited tonight. This is a very historic night for the city of Lynn, and I do have some prepared comments so that I don't miss out on anything important. First, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge some people and comment briefly on the ARPA process as I've experienced it so far. First, I am grateful to Council President Walsh for nominating me as the liaison for the Linden City Council. I can assure you that, as the mayor said, the last few months have been very busy with meetings, phone calls, etc., for not just myself, but for many of you. It wasn't just busy for myself and the mayor and his team, it was busy for everyone here. Many of you who scheduled and participated in the outreach process. Neighborhood meetings, social media posts, whatever you did to help is what got us to where we are today. I'm confident in saying no other community has had the outreach to their residents like we did here in the city of Lynn. And it wasn't just one or two opportunities for folks to participate, it was multiple, as the mayor and CSS has already mentioned. Those opportunities don't end tonight. That outreach to our residents and business partners will continue for the next several weeks as we plan to move toward our next round of ARPA funding this fall. Mayor Nicholson said earlier on one of our community meetings, we know we are not going to be able to fund every request with the ARPA funds, but what this does, with this open, inclusive, and transparent process, what it's done over the past 6 months or so, it has helped build a foundation that we can now build forward our capital plan over the next 5, 10, 20 years as we move forward. I would also like to acknowledge Nicole and Jen and their team at CSS. They've been committed to providing us the data we need to make the best decisions on the spending of the ARPA funds. They've been great to work with, and I look forward to working with them as we continue the process. I want to acknowledge the mayor, particularly his staff, John Tebow as chief of staff, Danielle Smith as policy director, John Michael Fana, our outreach director, and Faustina Cuevas, DEI officer for the city of Lynn, for all the hard work that they've put in, the meetings scheduled, and collaboration that they've had with me, with Councilor Net, and everyone here on the council. They have made themselves available for questions any day, any time of the day, and I may have had questions many of you have had that we've passed along, and directly reach out to them. So I appreciate their willingness to always be there for us. They have kept us up to date on the timeline and what and when requests for funding would be coming to the Ways and Means Committee for a vote. I want to acknowledge the department heads who identified the greatest needs for their departments, especially Mike Bertino, our CFO, Jim Cowdell, the director of EDIC, Charlie Gator, director of Lynn Housing and Neighborhood Development, Mike Donovan, director of Inspectional Services, Andy Hall, our DPW commissioner, and his associate DPW commissioner, Lisa Nerick, Don Castle, our ARPA compliance officer, our solicitor's office, as well as many of those in the private sector, all who participated in this transparent process. In the recap of the ARPA selection process that you saw just a moment ago, we saw the city's ARPA scoring matrix. It's the implementation, timeline, and project sustainability, the reality that the funding is a one-time revenue source, really a once-in-a-generational opportunity. It highlighted the outreach activities for Phase 1 and how data was collected. The city's goals for distributing ARPA funds was to design a process that is transparent, accessible, and equitable, and I am confident that we have met those goals and will continue as the process continues. I ask that you join me in supporting this round of funding requests that the mayor and his team have put forward to this committee, and ask for your continued support and participation as we move forward. Thank you for the time.
Any comment, discussion? So thank you so much, Councilor Field. You have done a great job representing us and being a liaison between City Council and the Mayor's office. Thank you, sir. So we're going to move to...
Can we ask a question for this, Councilor?
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Alex. You
Right
asked.
now?
Need a motion to suspend the rules for anyone that's not on the Ways and Means Committee to speak. So I make a motion, to suspend the rules.
Yeah, you can make, yes. You can go ahead, have a question.
Right. Thank you, Chairman Net. I know we've been thanking everybody, and you know, I personally and genuinely would like to say thank you to Councilor Field and Danya, because they've been calling us. I call them many times. I'm just annoyingly asking a lot of questions. So probably by now you know this already. But I would like to invite Danya, just for clear clarification, because on my way here, I reviewed this allocation again, and I just want to make sure that for 3 allocations, the $60,000 for inclusionary zoning study, $20,000 workforce development strategic plan, and $100,000 Sparks assessment consultants, do we have a staff capacity in the city that we have to hire an outside people to help this and spend this money? And in
Yeah.
what capacity are there limitations of involvement?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. And I think in many of these cases, we're really looking for consultant services to complement what the city already does, or we're looking for some specialized knowledge or expertise to help us get somewhere. So I think you're referring to the Workforce Development Strategic Plan, Inclusionary Zoning Study, and the Parks Conditions Assessment. The inclusionary zoning, this is something that really needs to have some specialized knowledge in financial modeling and land use planning in order to get us to a place where we feel comfortable and confident to bring an inclusionary zoning policy to your body. The Workforce Development Strategic Plan, I think as John noted, we received a grant that covers the vast majority of this, and this would be considered part of the city's matching funds. And then the Parks Conditions Assessment, given we are proposing pretty significant investment in the parks, we're looking for a timely and professional opinion and review of all of the city's parks. I think that's a long way of saying this will extend our capacity, and this will provide us with some sort of knowledge that may not be within this building or more specialized expertise.
So this is not for the 7 parks, this is for all parks of the city?
Yes.
Right, thank you. No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Lapierre. Have a
Thank you,
question.
Mr. Chairperson. Since we've opened it up to questions, I don't sit on this subcommittee, but I'll ask a few questions, and that will save time in our regular meeting. So a couple of things. First, I echo the sentiments of our liaison, Councilor Field, and the work that he's done, and thank him and the entire team that he has already thanked. It's been a really wonderful collaborative effort, and I don't think it's been seen, like you said, Councilor, across the Commonwealth to this degree of inclusion, transparency, citizen input, and so forth, outreach. I was at a meeting held here, as was the mayor and Councilor Allingson this winter, and we heard loud and clear the priority of housing. So I want to commend the mayor and his team at CSS and his staff for really prioritizing what I see as a true commitment to the housing crisis that's before not only the city, but the state and as a national problem. And I would hope that we continue that way in the future round in the fall, because we heard some painstakingly personal stories of folks that are tremendously struggling with the issue around housing. And we know this money's not going to be the be-all and end-all and solve housing. That's certainly not the intent of this body or the federal funds. But at the same time, if we can lift some people up with the creativity of a Hennessy House and putting a lot of infrastructure and supports into our existing housing authority, I think that's the direction that the city wants to go in, and it's reflected on some of the survey results, as the investment in our parks, which I think is so vitally important because there are so many of them and used by so many of our residents across the city. My two little things, the teacher in me, I was just questioning, it's more for Nicole and Jen, but there is a typo on Kylie Park that we have to correct. I know Councilor Allenson probably picked up on it as well. Kylie is K-I-L-E-Y, and there's a typo there, if that can be corrected. And I'm not sure on this one, but Bowser Complex to me was always with a Z. It was a person's name that complex on O'Callahan Way is named after. So it could be interchangeable, the S or the Z, but I would just respectfully ask that gets researched so we have the proper name. If we're going to name the complex and do renovations toward it, I want to respect the people's names that this is named after. And with that said, again, great job. I will not have questions at the general meeting, so thank you for allowing us to speak at your subcommittee, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you. President Roush.
Thank you, Chairman Hong. I just want to say that I'm really proud of everybody here, and I think when we first got handed this task about trying to allocate money, the first thing that came to my mind is the people that weren't going to get the money. Because some people are going to be winning, some people are going to be losing, and it's kind of, it's a hard thing for everybody to do. I think we all have our personal decisions and things to make here, and I think everybody looked at this real wholeheartedly. And I think we're learning along the way. I learned a lot about this. I really want to thank the mayor, and you know, we've worked really close, and, you know, I tell everybody, we talk 6 times a day, and it's true. I mean, we talk to each other more than our wives, I think, at some point. So, and, you know, and Councilor Field, you know, we knew you'd do us good here and make sure that, you know, you got all the information back to us, and we appreciate that. And just as a team here, as a council, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I feel like we got some real good momentum working here. I think we're going to continue that into the fall. We've been listening to everybody, and we're still listening, and I think we've heard some things that we'd like to talk about and see if we could help fund also. And, you know, I'd like to ask the mayor to make sure we look at some of the housing initiative things, and I know he's supportive of that into the fall. But I just really wanted to thank everybody, because this has not been something that a lot of councils have had the opportunity to do. It is definitely historic. I had a constituent reach out to me and say that this type of money was similar to the WPA projects that we saw in the 30s. And a lot of that had a major impact in our community, especially when it comes to infrastructure. Right. And I think you could look around a lot of the parks, and I think, you know, we could make that case that the infrastructure is needed there, and I think we have, and I also think the community has. So with a lot of these things, including with housing and those impacts we're going to have, it's going to have a lot of similarities to those WPA projects. And I'm very, very excited, and I really want to thank all my colleagues here for all the work you guys did, because it's just been an unbelievable uphill thing to do, and tons of meetings, and I thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Have any comment? Mr. Mayor, thank you so much. Janet, thank you, and Nicole, thank you, and Councillor Phil, thank you so much, and Danny and Jean. So you guys are amazing, and I like what I hear, and I like what I see, and so thank you all for, you know, every councillor who get involved in this. So this is amazing. This is a great night, and I can't say much. I'm very happy, and thank you, and now. So any other comments, any questions? So can we move on to our agendas? So
Start to read them.
yeah, Madam Clerk, could you please read our orders so we can vote on?
Pursuant to votes to the Lynn City Council dated July 13, 2021 and September 28, 2021 regarding the American Recovery Plan Act, the Lynn City Council hereby authorizes the following allocations. I'll just read each order and you call for the vote.
Yes.
Okay. $16,300,000 to DPW and community development for improvements to parks and playgrounds.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$75,000 for Public Health Division for a van bus at the City of Lynn Senior Center.
What's the wish committee?
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$3,048 for use by the Public Health Division for vaccination temperature protection.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$115,000 to the Public Health Division for Health Division accreditation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$10,000 to the Lynn Police Department for police translation services.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$1,500,000 to the Planning Department for Lynn Harbor Park Phase 1 implementation.
Make a motion
Motion
to
to
approve.
approve.
Here, second.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$45,000 to the Assessor's Office for Certified Asset Management Assessor CAMA program.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$2,600,000 to Lynn Water and Sewer for water system improvements for Broadway Linfield Street area.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$144,000 to the Lynn Police Department for a police range target system.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Starbed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$77,000 to the Lynn Police Department for Vertra training system.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
10,000 to the Lynn Fire Department for a hose reel.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. 1,200,000 to the GAR for capital improvements to the Grand Army of the Republic Hall and Museum for elevator and facade.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. 60,000 to the Mayor's Office for an inclusionary zoning study.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
298,155 for the DP.
Can happen for you. Where you've been.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. 900,000 to the Haven Project, Inc. for Catalyst Housing.
Motion approved.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. 22,500 to Kayak and Sail Lynn, Inc. for capital expenses.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
100,000 to the Building Audacity, Inc. for Building Audacity on the GROW program.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
20,000 to Lynn Main Streets for the downtown wayfinding.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Next, please.
$16,100 to Lynn Main Streets, Inc. for Welcome to Lynn Planting Initiative.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$26,200 to Lynn Main Streets for the active transportation and transit support.
Motion approved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
10,000 to the Arts After Hours, Inc. for a revenue replacement.
Motion approved.
Yes, second. Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$100,000 to Beyond Walls, Inc. for the downtown wayfinding.
Motion approved.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Could you please read transfers, Madam Clerk?
That's it for those.
Oh, yeah, these are, that's it. So now we did transfer, right?
Go to financials.
Yes, financial transfers.
Transfer $1,100,000 from the school OP STAB fund expense to fund FY22 school sick buyback.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, $900,000 from workers' comp payroll to fund statutory workers' compensation fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, $100,000 from unemployment expense to fund statutory unemployment benefits fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. $109,500 from the police department expense to fund statutory public injured on duty medical expense fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$208,960 from the fire department expense to fund statutory public safety injured on duty medical expenses fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Certify funds, please.
$1,170,973 to the police department for the state 911 support and initiative grant.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
$114,962.48 to the police department for the state 911 department training grant.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. $263,128 to the DPW for the Northern Strand on-road extension to Nahant Beach.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Could you read the orders, please?
We have an order that the city comptroller is hereby authorized to establish an account pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to deposit revenues from rental incomes for the purpose of maintaining the City of Lynn's owned property at 2 State Street. This funding will be known as the 2 State Street Revolving Fund Account.
What's the wish committee?
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Pursuant to votes of the Lynn City Council dated July 13, 2021, and September 28, 2021, regarding the American Recovery Plan Act, the Lynn City Council hereby authorizes that the city shall allocate the sum of $30,000 for the American Rescue Plan Act for consulting and outreach services for Capital Strategic Solutions, Inc.
What's the wish?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
So this is it, and could you,
Move on to
yeah, this fiscal year 2023, revolution funds, revolving funds. Could you please read that?
We have the fiscal year 2023 revolving funds, caps, and spending limits.
What's the wish
First
committee?
one is
Yeah, one.
abandoned foreclosed residential and commercial property revolving fund, ISD chief. The cap is $500,000, and the annual limit is $150,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. City of Lynn Memorial City Hall and Auditorium Revolving Fund, cap is unlimited, and the annual limit is $5 million.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes. Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. City of Lynn Cannabis Revolving Fund, unlimited cap and no annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Comcast PEG Access and Cable-Related Revolving Fund, the mayor, unlimited cap and $1 million on the annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Verizon Peg Access and Cable Related Revolving Fund, the mayor, cap is unlimited, annual limit, $1 million.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Community Garden Revolving Fund, cap is unlimited, annual limit, $50,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Bachman Avenue Dog Park Revolving Fund, Community Development Director, cap is unlimited, annual limit, $25,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Parks and Rec Concerts and Special Events Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, cap is unlimited, annual limit, $50,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh? Yes.
Yes.
City of Lynn Cultural District Revolving Fund, Community Development Director, cap is unlimited, annual limit, $20,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. City of Lynn Handicap Parking Violation Fine, Collection Revolving Fund, Disability Commission, cap is $200,000 and annual limit is $50,000.
Motion approved.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Insurance Proceeds Revolving Fund, the Treasurer Collector, unlimited cap, $250,000 for the annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn 4th of July Celebration Revolving Fund, the mayor, the cap is unlimited. Annual limit is unexpected monies returned, general fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Law Enforcement Trust Revolving Fund, cap is unlimited. Annual limit, $200,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn proceeds from the sale of Lynn Library branches, revolving fund, Board of Library Trustees, cap is unlimited, no cap, one-time source of for the annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn parking meter receipt revolving fund, cap is unlimited, $200,000 annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Pine Grove Cemetery Land Grade Revolving Fund, Pine Grove Cemetery Commission, cap is unlimited, annual limit is $150,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Pine Grove Cemetery Perpetual Revolving Fund, Pine Grove Cemetery Commission, cap is unlimited, annual limit $150,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn repair recently repaved roads caused by utilities revolving fund.
Motion approved.
Cap is unlimited, $150,000 annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Special Needs Camp, Kiwanis Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, cap is unlimited, annual limit $150,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Stadium Commission, Manning Field, Fraser Revolving Fund, unlimited cap, $250,000 annual limit.
Vice Wish Committee. Okay. Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. City of Lynn Tax Title Collection Revolving Fund, the Treasurer Collector, unlimited cap and $150,000 annual limit.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Overflow Trash Bag Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, cap is unlimited, annual limit $100,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Vaccine Insurance Reimbursement Revolving Fund, Health Director, cap is unlimited, annual limit 100,000.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Park Use Security Deposit Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, the cap is unlimited, annual limit 25,000.
Motion approved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
City of Lynn Compost Bin Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, the cap unlimited, annual limit $50,000.
Motion approved.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Last one, please.
And the final one is City of Lynn Traffic Island Revolving Fund, DPW Commissioner, cap is unlimited, annual limit 100,000.
Motion approved.
Here, second. Here, second. Oh, second. Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So we have only one emergency this afternoon. Could you please read emergency for us?
Yep, it is the transfer of $1,100,000 from the school ops tab fund expense to cover the sick buyback payroll.
What is the wish committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call for that one, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, and Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
And everything else lays over.
Okay, so you want to roll call for layover?
You want that? Okay. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
So any new business?
I have nothing.
Nothing. Any new business?
Second.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a second.
Here we go. Here we go. Council meeting, July 12th to order. Roll call.
Counsel Alanzug?
I'm here, present.
Present. Counsel Barton?
Present.
Present. Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present. Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Present. Counsel Field?
Present.
Present. Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present. Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Present. Counsel Lozey?
Yes, present.
Present. Counsel Net?
Present.
Present. Counsel Starbird?
Present.
Present. Counsel Walsh?
Present. We all rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
We please keep in mind the families of Larry Galizzi and my former colleague at English High School, William McGinnis, Jr.
The Costello family. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a motion to accept the minutes from June 14th. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Communications.
We have the following communication from His Honor the Mayor. Dear councilors, I am hereby appointing the following members to the Disability Commission effective immediately. Patricia Capano, 105 Range Heights Road. Her term will expire July 3rd, 2023. Francisco Acosta, 43 Beacon Hill Ave. His term will expire July 3rd, 2023. Louise Main Dominique, 15 Newton Ave. Her term will expire July 3rd, 2024. Denise Clark, 102 Orchard Street. Her term will expire July 3rd, 2024. Joseph Thornton, 3 Seaside Terrace. His term will expire July 3rd, 2025. Christopher Gator, 7 Bridle Path Road. His term will expire July 3rd, 2025. I'm also appointing the following members to the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission, effective immediately. Robin Grace, 16 Prescott Road. Her term will expire on June 30th, 2023. Michael Salona, 139 Woodlawn Street. His term will expire on June 30th, 2025. Sincerely, Mayor Jared C. Nicholson.
It's the wish of the council. Approve.
Second.
Motion approved, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is anybody here tonight that was just read off in the group here that wants to come up and say a few words if you'd like? I want to thank everybody on the boards. I know sometimes they can be really tough to be on. I started out on one of the boards, and I know that it can be a tough grind being on them, and we appreciate having everybody participate in part of our process. So thank you to everybody. Public hearings.
First public hearing, petition by Manuel Robles, 85 Chatham Street, to allow a conforming apartment building in an R5 district with less than the required parking at 2127 Neptune Boulevard.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor, come up to the podium, give us your name and address.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Nathaniel Spinney with the firm Cherry Tree Legal here in Lynn, located in the Edison Building. My residential address is 59 Pacific Street here in Lynn. I thank you for the opportunity to appear tonight. I'm here on behalf of Manny Robles, who's present. He is the current owner of 21 to 27 Neptune Boulevard, located in Ward 6. This site is the former onion ring factory and abuts the property of Tipico Restaurant. Mr. Robles is a Ward 4 Lynn resident and operates a plumbing business here in Lynn as well. Mr. Robles is currently a landlord in Lynn and has had experience working with housing agencies such as the Lynn Housing Authority in providing rental units for individuals and families utilizing rental voucher programs. For this particular property, Mr. Robles is committed to investing several $1 million to convert the existing commercial building into a 5-story, 24 rental unit apartment building. This property is located in an R5 high-rise district. The plans for this development show 29 off-street parking spaces, including 13 on the abutting property at Tipico Restaurant, which is under a long-term lease agreement. The project requires 36 off-street parking spaces, and under the new state statute aimed at spurring housing production, we are before the council tonight seeking a special permit that will allow us the additional required 7 off-street parking spaces that we're not able to provide for the special permit for this project. We previously appeared before the city's development team and obtained its approval for this project. We're grateful for the input from Ward 6 Councilor Fred Hogan, Mayor Nicholson, Jim Cowdell at EDIC, and the entire development team for helping us design a project that will uplift the neighborhood, complement many new developments in the area, and provide much-needed housing. As part of the agreement reached with the city and with the help of Charlie Gaeta at the Lynn Housing Authority, Mr. Robles has agreed to an affordable housing restriction for 3 of the 24 residential units in attempting to abide by the city's desire for 15% affordable units per project. Mr. Robles agreed to rent 1 unit to a tenant with an income level at 80% AMI and 2 units to tenants with an income level at 50% AMI. The need for rental units at 50% AMI is significant, and all parties involved recognize its importance in incorporating the deed restriction to ensure that these affordable units exist in perpetuity. If this special permit is approved by the City Council, we will then proceed to seek certain dimensional requirements and variances for the Zoning Board of Appeals at its July 19th meeting. Mr. Robles' intent is to construct a modern-looking residential apartment building and help alleviate the City of Lynn's housing needs. We feel like this is the best use of this particular area that has undergone a significant amount of investment with road repairs and the new YMCA that's right there. We hope you look favorably upon our application and are happy to answer any questions the councilors may have.
All right, thank you. Just if you could sit off to the side for a second, and we'll have the rest of the hearing in case any questions come up. All right. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Anybody wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone like to speak in opposition? Come on up to the podium. Give us your name and address, please.
Yeah. Hi, Joanne Lindner, 302 Linwood Street, Lynn. I'm not opposed to affordable housing. However, when the tax rate was set in December, you people were cautioned about overdevelopment in residential. The income from the city, it's like 90% from the residential homeowners. You're taking away a business to build more housing. I also question schools. Our schools are overcrowded. You continue to approve housing, and I wonder where you're going to put the children. Again, I'm not against affordable housing. It's just that we need commercial businesses here. The taxpayers need relief, and the only way to do it is to bring businesses into Lynn, not more residential development. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Go on up to the mic.
Good evening. Isaac Simon Hodes, Ward 7 in Lynn. I wasn't planning to speak, but I just wanted to quickly respond. You all know me well enough to probably know that I'd like to see more affordability in this. We know that you can't do 100% affordable in every project. You have to find the right balance. We would like to see the balance a little bit further in the affordability direction. And I would just point out that 80% AMI, that unit shouldn't even be labeled as affordable here in Lynn. So we'd like to see something closer to 20% of the units at actual Lynn affordability rates. But you know I was going to say that. I do want to just briefly respond to the previous comment. I think it's largely a myth that creating new housing in the city of Lynn is a problem for the schools. There are funding mechanisms through the state that can mitigate any additional burden on the schools. And if you look at the Housing Lynn report and numerous other studies, it's just not a fact. You can't stop building housing and expect that to alleviate issues with the schools. So as much as, I do have a comment that I would like to see the project modified slightly, that shouldn't be the reason. And, obviously we know that homeowners, working class folks struggle with tax rates. That gets passed on often to working class, lower income tenants. That's an issue. We do need to see more commercial development. But again, we have an absolute crisis in terms of housing availability in the city of Lynn. We can't just shut down the construction of new housing and expect, magically to have other kinds of commercial development take place in small lots like this one. So as much as, I am on both sides of this, I'm commenting against because I do feel like the developer could do a little bit more in affordability, even if there aren't a significantly larger number of deed-restricted affordable units. It would be great to see a commitment to keeping the rents at some of the other units at or below the payment standard for housing choice vouchers, so people who have that kind of opportunity would be able to stay in the area, particularly folks who are from or grew up in the area. But I don't think that the council should, oppose housing on the grounds of, protecting the schools. That's just not a reality. So I hope that there could be some kind of compromise worked out. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Vote with the City Council. Councilor Hogan?
Yes, I got one question for the, if you guys can come
You
back.
could come on up to the podium.
The present business that is there is La Ruta, the restaurant. How long has it been closed or out of business?
Yeah,
Yeah, so the property has been vacant for 2 years.
that's right.
It has been a plight. It has been a ugly eyesore on the neighborhood. We've had issues there, and I just think that this is going to work for this neighborhood, for this part right here, and I'd like to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second. Any more discussion? Roll up, Councilor Staben.
Thank you, Mr. President. And while I will vote to support this, as the ward councilor does support it, as I've said repeatedly, I agree with what Mrs. Linda went up and said. We continually add to our housing stock, and we have plans to bring upwards of thousands more to development. The schools are overcrowded, they're crumbling, they do impact the schools. Those of us that did the tour down at Breakwater, listen to the owners down there say, kids are living there. They're in, basically the intended target with a lot of this development was for younger urban professionals working in Boston, and we're going to commute into Boston. And that doesn't seem what's been happening in these locations. I've also spoken to the fire chief, police chief. Their calls are up. They're dealing with domestics, drug overdoses, drug dealing at these buildings as well. And in this past budget, we didn't add any more police officers, any more fire personnel. We haven't expanded their locations, no substations, no new fire station to address all this new waterfront development especially. We've got, and again, I say this all the time, we've got a larger percentage of our population enrolled in our public schools than any other community around us by thousands. And our plan is to replace schools every 10 years. If all goes according to plan, we're going to replace Pickering, an existing school, a little bit larger than the one that's there now, for 2026. We opened Marshall in 2016. Before that, when Classical opened, there was a 20-year span. Our schools cannot handle it. And every place, to Mrs. Linda's point, every place that we're putting this housing up was once a commercial site, was once jobs, was once a commercial tax base. And we look at our roads, our sidewalks, our parks, and we can't handle what we got. Our police and fire are stretched to the max, and we have classrooms in this city with 45 kids with teachers quitting daily. It's unsustainable, the path that we're on. The trajectory that we're on in this city with building apartment buildings on every available site is unsustainable. It really is. And if we can't properly deliver public safety, public works, and public education to those that are already in this city, all we're doing is exacerbating that problem by bringing thousands more in. I think that it's time to kind of step back and talk about some kind of moratorium on certain types of housing, bigger units or whatever, but it's unsustainable, which is going to turn into eventually unsalvageable. So again, while the ward council supports this, it's a small site. I'm not in opposition of it, but we gotta take a hard look at this and start to put the brakes on a little bit, because we can't sustain the direction that we're headed. Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. Any other discussion? Counsel Lozey.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm going to support the ward councilor with this, but one thing I haven't heard is what the planning department, we have a planning department with a new employees, director and employees, have they been appraised of this proposal, and do they have any input? And because we're not seeing a whole lot of information, such as size of the apartments, we just got the basics.
Yeah.
24 units, 36 parking spots, but we're not really seeing it, and I'm wondering if our planning department has taken a good, close look, and where is their recommendation or their input on this?
Councilor Hogan can.
Just
to that.
for Councilor Lozey, the planning department is part of the development team, and they were in on these meetings also, so just to inform you that there. So.
And with all due respect, Councilor Hogan, I don't see anything in writing, any kind of input. It would be nice if they did. It's unusual that they don't say anything.
When a development is going on in your ward, if there's a development to happen in Ward 1, you will be invited to the development team meeting, and you'll be informed on that, and you'll have that information. This particular development is in Ward 6. The development team was, Aaron was there as a part of the development team, so.
Just
if I could just give Councilor Arlington one thing.
Well, he did, I'd like to.
Okay, Councilor Lozey, go ahead.
Not
Yep.
rebut, but address it. It's not, we represent the city as well as our districts, Councilor Hogan, and it's important for us to be able to take a vote for around the city what we pay our planning board to do. And to me, that's not sufficient, that they're part of a team that recommends reviews and recommends in a shell. It should be more transparent. We should know what's going on, and they're our experts, and I'd like to hear from them. And but however, you're the ward councilor. You've been a part of this planning process, and I'll support you for that. But I think in the future, anything I've seen as a councilor for over 18 years is for a proposal like this, whether it's through L-Hand or Lynn Community Development, or EDIC, I'm sorry, we'll have a representative from EDIC, Jim Cowdell or L-Hand, and they'll speak on the merits of the proposal. I'm not getting anything here, or we're not getting anything here, and I think that's a mistake, and there should be input from them. And I know it's going to require variances, is what I've heard, so there will be more input at that time, but it should be at the ground level here, and we should be a part of it if we're going to vote on it. Thank you.
Councilor Arlington.
I exactly about to say the same thing too. Since we're all going to vote, every time we get this packet every Friday, I just felt like I have to do a lot of diggings and research, and if there's more information attached to this, it will be easier for us to vote coming Tuesday when we all meet. And with all respect to the ward councilor from Ward 6, totally I basically agree with the councilor from Ward 1 that more information should be added to our packets to get us more information as we vote on. And I totally agree with the councilor from Ward 2 that, we don't have to invite anybody from City Hall now from the mayor's office, but I want them to really take note with what our speaker, Joanne, has mentioned, because we read this all the time. It seems like it's an old record player. We hear them talk over and over again, but we cannot present something to the public about what's the direction and the goal of the city. And I think it's a challenge, and I'm glad that the mayor's having a monthly meeting with constituents. I encourage everybody to talk directly to the mayor and address all of these issues. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. With respect to my colleagues, earlier this year, we read a resolution to create a development team in the city, which includes the ward councilors. At that time, there were no amendments offered to that resolution. It was voted on unanimously by this committee, all in favor, and that's where those objections to any of these comments should have been made. Thank you.
If I could, just from the podium, I think it would be fair to ask for Aaron, the planner, who was involved when we do some of these developments, and I'll make sure that we'll have him come here to talk about some of that, because I think that's fair to ask the questions to that. But I also would say that Councilor Hogan, being the ward councilor of that area, who's been born and raised there his entire life and has been in all those meetings with them and knows the area pretty well, I think I would yield to his opinion on that at that. But also, I think it's fair to ask for some more information down the road when we have these type of things. So thank you. Any Councilor LaPierre?
And thank you, Mr. President. Just on that comment there, I think we have to respect the autonomy of the ward councilors, and I don't need to see every little piece of paper from across the city and as a councilor at large from where I sit, but we have to know that the councilor did their due diligence on all of these projects and have been involved. And I think with respect to the councilors, even some folks who have expressed concerns are still supporting this project because the ward councilor is recommending it. He or she knows best what's happening in their ward, and they frankly take the complaints first. So if they hear some things, they're the first to hear about it, good, bad, or ugly. So I, for one, want to keep and hold ward council autonomy at a very high premium. And I agree with my colleague, Councilor Field, when we embarked on this development team, that's where the conversations are coming through, and people are welcome to go and ask and get input on that process before it comes to us. And when it comes to us, it should be done, in a public vein like we're doing, and people speak in favor and opposition. But I really think that we should be continuing to hold the council's recommendation at a very high level. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? We have a motion. We have a second. Roll call.
Councilor Allensug?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Chakoudas?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Calucci? Yes. Councilor Field?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Net?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Staubed?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Walsh?
Yes. Next public hearing. Motion carries. Next public hearing.
Petition of Andrew Nardone for Lincoln Place, Peabody, Mass. for a lesser use special permit to allow multifamily use in a business district at 81-83 Marion Street.
Anybody wish to speak in favor?
Good morning again, or good afternoon again, good evening. Lose track of the time. Again, my name is Nathaniel Spinney with Cherry Tree Legal here in Lynn. My residential address is 59 Pacific Street here in Lynn. And again, thank you for the time. I'm here representing Andrew Nardone, who is under agreement to purchase the property at 8183 Marion Street, located in Ward 7. Mr. Nardone has a long history with our city and is currently moving back to Lynn, purchasing a home in the city. His father is a retired police officer, as you may know. Mr. Nardone has extensive experience purchasing multifamily properties, rehabbing them, and managing the rentals. For this particular property, Mr. Nardone is committed to investing over $300,000 in upgrades to the building and the grounds and renting to families with local Lynn rental vouchers. Mr. Nardone is a landlord who holds himself on providing tenants with a high level of service and quality living space. The property at 8183 Marion is currently a pre-existing non-conformed mixed-use building located in a business district. The application before you seeks a special permit to convert the first floor commercial unit, formerly the site of a restaurant, into a residential unit. The special permit is required as a residential is a lesser use in a business district and therefore requires the council approval. The plan provides 3 conforming off-street parking spaces, 1 in excess of the required 2 for a single residential unit. There's enough space on the property to park additional cars in the non-conforming parking spaces in such instances as snow emergencies. However, 3 spots per trade are what could fit in conformance with the off-street parking requirements. There's a billboard located on the property that prohibits additional conforming spaces from being installed. However, the current owner has a long-time lease agreement with the billboard company that will be assumed by Mr. Nardone upon the purchase. There are no plans to alter the current building envelope, so there's no need to seek variance from the ZBA. Mr. Nardone's intent is to take a structure in desperate need of investment and convert it into a fully residential particular street. And so it makes the economic viability limited. Many other commercial tenants have failed at that location. We have heard from abutters in the area who express support of this property, receive attention it deserves, and are
And there's been a lot of move that garage. It's not there anymore, and helped free up some space in the rear of this property.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staubed?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel
My business You can contact them by calling 1-800-243-4636, or you can call your own town's Council on Aging.
Property and Parks Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Present.
Present. Counsel LaPierre? Absent. Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Present. Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present. Counsel Field?
Present.
Present.
Okay, thank you. We have a request from Mass Hire North Shore Career Center to use the City Hall foyer on September 14th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to, looks like, run a mobile career day, career center day. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre? Absent. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Okay, any new business? Council Field.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a motion to take it off the table, the bid for Marshall Middle School.
Okay, motion's been made to take it
Second.
off the table, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also have an order that the City of Lynn hereby rejects and rescinds the bid award of East Boston Community Development Corporation for the purchase of the City of Lynn-owned property at 19 Porter Street, as the EBCDC was unable and/or unwilling to execute a development agreement which incorporated all representation and warranties contained in EBCDC's response to requests for proposals. Ordered further that the EBCDC be declared a non-responsible and non-responsive bidder. Further ordered that the purchasing department shall return the bid deposit, and return of said bid deposit shall not be construed as an acknowledgement that EBCDC did not violate the terms of the request for proposals, and the council order dated September 28, 2021, awarding EBCDC the bid. That's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre? Absent. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci? Sorry. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Counsel Field?
Yes.
Okay, any other new business? Wish of the committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Terry.
Met you in the dark to feel the same. Always in your dreams, you hear my voice singing in your head. My darkness calls. I ran through the street calling out your name. Met you in the dark to feel the same. Always in your dreams, you hear my voice singing in your head. My darkness calls. Hearing your young temptation, pounding hearts, they speak too soon. This awkward, anxious tension